So first, I want to kind of touch on. I have the SPX up here for those of you guys new to the channel. I cover the stocks. I do cover the crypto as well. Primarily SPX, SPY, Dixie. I touch on tech stocks. I won't be doing that today. And then Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't really take necessarily requests during the huddle because what we are on a very time constraint and we cover very specific things for a reason. So if you guys all decide you want requests and you're on TikTok or YouTube, just sign up at Botjock. You guys can even do it for free. You don't even have to have a credit card. So it's just botjok.com. All right, so we're gonna get started here. I'm looking here as you guys see at the SPX. I immediately go to the 1 hour because I wanted to take a look. As you guys know, we did have an explosion on Friday. This was mostly because of the news, the PC news, the debt ceiling hopeful, all that, right? So we were following this kind of rising wedge. We did take a L on Friday in the community, but a lot of what we were doing is we were trying to take this wedge, right, to play the wedge for the break. It ended up exploding up here. I thought we would gain some resistance on this red line because this was a heavy prior area of resistance, which we did not. I didn't feel like chasing the long on the way up or the call on the option. So, we just did one trade. Other than that, we just kind of hung out. We were way up for the week. Monday through Thursday was just phenomenal, right? So, and I refuse to take anything other than a 0 day. So we took the 0 day chance. Didn't work. It pumped up. We're all good. From the SPX, I will warn you, guys. And this is more because I know the markets aren't necessarily open, but for us, but it's going to impact crypto, right? And so we do have a double top forming on the SPX. It's actually trying to break out as we speak. Keep in mind, since it broke here, which was about 41.44, it actually pumped all the way up without a retest. This is a huge retest. If it holds support, we're going to create a squeeze. You guys know I drew this line back here. It was on Monday, and then the moment I saw this right here on Thursday, right, we drew that line. So far, it went straight for it. It did reject off of it, not only once, but twice. And if we get a close on this 1 hour in the next 30 minutes below this 21 SMA, then it's likely we're going to come test this line here. This line is just a small 2-point line, nothing too wild, right? And if it does break that, then it's almost certain that we're coming down this way. Now, why does that impact crypto? Because typically in the holidays or weekends, anything like that, if any kind of stock like that shows that it's getting weakness, crypto tends to overreact, especially if it overreacted the other way. So as far as our indicators go, we have not officially called that double top. The harmonic should call it pretty soon. The 1 hour chart, divergence hunter, which is extremely accurate. Anytime you are way up here on the RSI, which is going to be overbought, it tends to come down anyways. But also we had it, this is our custom part of our indicator. Not only are we way overbought, we are in the red zone, but we have flipped red on the 1 hour, which typically when we do that, you can see right here where it did it took a pretty nasty fall, and you can see even over here where it took a pretty nasty fall. So this is kind of a good guide to use for crypto. Doesn't mean that we're going back to 26.2 right away, but it may mean that crypto might have a little bit of a hard time pushing past those higher levels, which we'll talk about. So just kind of stay safe, guys. It's a great range. This is also why I'm logging in to take a look at my ATAs, because it's really a good range to set up a couple other pairs, because as you all know, we were low in the channel on crypto, and I didn't want to really run a lot of pairs through this weekend, but I was waiting for either a drastic push up or a drastic push down. We did get our drastic push up, enough to where I may add some more. So, but this is kind of what I see on the SPX, guys. We'll see how this sets up tomorrow. My perfect case scenario, to be honest with you, tomorrow would be somewhere in this zone here. So I'm kind of hoping it comes down, retests this, comes up, hits this, because that is going to show us like so much weakness along this trend line. If we can open up tomorrow morning around here, oh my gosh, guys, it's going to be like a $10,000 day easily, because that rejection that it's going to cause is going to be just so massive. But I anticipate with this happening right here that, we're definitely going to pull back. How much? I think we may see as far as down to here, 41.91. So we'll see where that goes. On the Dixie, you guys, back here we called this rounded bottom. It's still kind of, got that rounded motion. It is showing some signs of weakness. If you look back, throughout the pump here, we had pretty clear, highs and lows and highs, lows. We did get a little double top that pulled back, but it instantly reclaimed, right? If you look at here, we had a nice little pullback, pump up, pullback, pump up, pullback. It was just pretty clear trend trading, right? Now, for the first time in a while, we pushed up, we pulled back, but we barely were able to make a higher high here. We did pull back at here, trying to create a higher low. Our overall gap fill indicator still has the blue on the top, which is telling you that it's still has some steam to push up. But if you notice here on the 1 hour, we're actually calling a bearish gap fill. So those of you who trade our gap fill indicator, which is custom made by us, you guys know, when the bulls are winning too much, they're gonna get exhausted. Think about that, like now they're getting tired, right? And so eventually the bears are gonna step up and say, hold up, we're gonna come to play, right? And that's what this indicator does. It tells you that we do have some kind of bearish gap to fill, at least in this kind of area here. So I believe that this bearish gap that's gonna fill over the next between today and maybe tomorrow. It could be either that we pull back and retest this 1 hour, or the 200 EMA in the 1 hour, which we have not done since like way back here. So that would not shock me. Or it could be that, we do get a little bit more separation as this climbs up to here, and then this is that gap fill, right? So, but either way, we're getting really close for a big move, because as y'all know, if we break this red line on the Dixie, man, the markets are just going to absolutely tank, because, once it breaks it and it holds it like this, right, as support, then, the sky's the limit up to, 105 or so, and that's going to show a lot of strength in the dollar, which will pull the markets down. However, I think, with the markets pumping, if this starts to show weakness and somehow magically it flips this 200 EMA, we're going to see just a really big push north on the markets. So just taking a look at the VIX here, guys. If you look at it here, we did hit this bottom. This was Friday morning. We talked about, how there will potentially be a pullback, right, with the VIX, pushing up. This was Friday the 19th, last because we're on the week 1 hour. So this was kind of that pullback that we had when it went all the way down, like the SPY went down to 410. And then, we talked about this line here, which is funny. This is what we were trading, I think it was Wednesday and Thursday when we did so well. And this was just the trend line of the VIX that we were trading, and you can see it rejected off of it perfectly. So I think there's going to be a squeeze on the VIX between the support level that we have here on our zone tracker right here that seems to keep holding, and this line here, right? So it's going to just kind of squeeze like this. Eventually one's going to break. My anticipation is the break will likely be more north, but we'll see. We'll see how that ends up. So far we've had 1, 2, 3 hits on the southern side and only the 2 on the top, right? So we would need another couple hits up here for that squeeze. So now let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. I'm going to touch on 2 points on Bitcoin. So as y'all know, back in here, we were playing this potential bearish pennant. The pennant did break out, didn't get the full length of what a normal pennant would, but if y'all remember, we talked about because of the way this is breaking out, that there's a likelihood we can find support right here where there was previous support. We actually found a little bit higher, which is good. One of the things we were watching on Bitcoin was this potential rising wedge. My anticipation on what I was calling for on Friday is that if we follow this wedge, which we did almost perfectly from the bottom, right? If we flip this SMA and we hold above it, right, enough to squeeze back through into the pennant, that's going to be seen as like really, really bullish. For us to break this wedge, we would have had to have stayed below this 21. So like right here, right, it would have had to stay below it, squeeze it, and then that would have broke down. The other thing too, if you notice on the rising wedge, right, our RSI was claiming higher highs, right? So there was really no bearish diversion. So I mean, everything was showing like strength, right? So um, so that basically led us to break through, and you guys can see that's when the traders and the markets believe that that's happening, because you can see the volume shift, right when it came through and it hit here with some kind of strength, and we grew strength to break this high here. It just went up, right? And so we came for the retest, didn't even make that, which causes that next explosion north, because we did break through the pennant. So you do have the breakthrough there. You got the big volume, right? Came through. You got another explosion north. And the interesting thing is, y'all know I drew this line quite some time ago. I think it's these back here in April. So it's just this peak, right? And so, a lot of times, if you were following, you had that same line, you wouldn't have got caught taking a call up here. It's funny. I had people side messaging me like, oh man, Bitcoin's going to the moon, man. We're going back to 30K. I'm like, I don't know. I stick to the TA. I don't get caught up in the whole, Bitcoin's going to the bull run. It's, we're in this room, in this community, y'all know, I mean, we're scalpers. We play in the moment. We don't play in the what we hope it's going to do, right? We do look at longer term TA, but I'm playing in the moment. I want to know, what is it going to do now, right? So if you look at the now for the 1 hour on Bitcoin, we do have a nice rejection candle here right off of the trend line. Couldn't even really make the trend line. Now I will tell you, it did explode past the Bollinger Band, which typically when you have an explosion pass like this, you're in store for a little bit of a retest somewhere. Could even be as low as 27,377. If that retest holds, right, the next push north can be pretty huge. So just keep an eye on that. Now we are flipping this. If you notice this 21 SMA, we're flipping that right now. It's really trying. If this can actually close and flip it, I wanted to show you guys, we do also have here, right, our divergence hunter is flipping red as well and is way overbought. So I would not be surprised about a retest here. If you're a bull and you want to trade longs, you think we're going to 30K, I would just not. The thing we teach in the rooms, guys, scalping or otherwise, you don't want to buy here. If the patterns, or the TA has played out into this explosion, don't chase it. That you're just gonna get wrecked. I mean, it's such reckless trading. If you want to chase it right, we do have our kind of our pump here. You have a little mini bull flag forming here through the pattern. I would just wait until you actually see if it's going to flip this. If we gain support on the very next bullish candle, man, take that long, right? Scalp it out. The Bollingers are separating. They're still green. Only thing I don't really like is this, and this indicator is just so accurate. It's ridiculous. We don't really have any divergence on the 1 hour. That's only upside for that I would say. But yeah, just stay safe, guys. If you're looking to go long on Bitcoin, I would wait for some kind of pullback. Somewhere around 27.3, 27.4, something like that, or possibly even 27.1. We may even come down, all the way to 26.6, right, to retest that. It's very possible because of this rejection. A lot of times when we hit something like this with some momentum, we just kind of range like this, and then we're going to hit it again. It's that second one that usually makes it fall. However, if we flip this, then we're going to just explode in a northern way. So I don't have it on this chart. Let's look at my gap fill one. So I have this red line here. This was kind of another triple top line that we're following. So my anticipation, if we can flip this white line, if you're trying to follow my white line, just go up to the peak, pull it down. If we flip this white line right here, with a nice momentum trend like this, and we flip it, then we're going to have an absolute just explosion north to around 29.3. This one will be the moment of truth, because not only do we have a lot of red in our zone tracker, but we have a nice nasty trend line. Keep in mind, on the 1 hour, our bearish gap fill is calling bearish, right? Not huge. It's only about 15% separation, which is like right around the trigger for it to even call it. But We have not flipped on the gap fill indicator. We have not flipped here. So typically, you guys know in the room when you trade the gap fill, you want the purple on the top, and that's confirmation that the trend is shifting. I would not be surprised for us to retest this 200 EMA since we haven't broke it since we broke 26.7. So a retest down here around 27 or so, if we hold support here, would be a great entry to push to ride that sucker back up. For us to be extremely bearish, we'd need to flip this and then pull. That would be what pulls us down. So, but there's in my opinion, between today and tomorrow, people love our market makers love holidays because what they want to do is they want to bait you guys into buying. Think about it, everybody's out, hanging out at the boats, drinking, talking about news about how Bitcoin's up 4%. What does it make you want to do? It makes you want to buy Bitcoin, right, or buy your favorite altcoin that's going to the moon. So they love to bait people into that stuff and then drop it on them. So it's likely that we're going to probably do something like this. We could even create a nice little double top, retest this, and then that could be our breakdown. So just stay safe out there, guys. Don't chase candles. If you miss the pump, you miss the pump. Wait for the retest, right? If you miss another pump because you waited too long, that's fine. Guess what? When it gets up here, ride the sucker back down, right? That's what we teach in our room is how to scalp. So gap fill indicator on Bitcoin is calling for a potential gap fill. It had one here. There's another one here on 27.4. There is one right here that needs to claim around 26.8. That might be what gets claimed around this retest here. Small little sliver left here. I don't know that I would call this one because of the fact that you do have this wick that claimed that one. So nothing else on the downward motion. As far as north goes, we did come back to reclaim this one, like I had talked about in the room, right? It's likely to come back and reclaim this one, which it did. And there's really nothing else up here, nothing else up here. This one's already reclaimed. So there's really nothing else up on the upper side, right? So now all we have is what it needs to reclaim on this this lower side. But you can kind of see we did create one here, right? So that could create that double top. This gap fill indicator that we built, you guys in the know in the room, this thing is so freaking accurate. It's just it's ridiculous. If you look at the volume here, you can see the POC's down just way down here on the 1 hour. So for our POC, so for us to come down and retest, this range would not surprise me whatsoever. And keep in mind, guys, this is our low. So even if we came all the way down to 26.7, right, you're going to hear everybody talking about how we're crashing. Oh my gosh, we're all, going to die. But at the end of the day, it's still a higher low. And if it retests this POC and gains support, man, it's just going north. So I'm a little bit over, but I don't have a lot to talk on the ATAs. So I'm going to touch a little bit on ETH. We're not going to talk about the harmonics, but we will look at the gap fill. So you can see we did reject off the zone here. I did mark a yellow line here if you guys want to follow that. This is where we had a rejection 1, 2, we had it in here 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right, that we rejected off of that line. So we do need to flip this line if we want any hopes of pushing up. This yellow line here is our next kind of high that we've rejected off quite a bit. So if we do flip the 1935, it's almost certain we're going to the 2030. But I think this is also setting up similar to Bitcoin into that potential double top. We have even a larger gap to fill all the way down to 1831. So also we are overbought, and we are in the hour when now we're flipping red. So just be safe on that. We're only about let's see, we're not too far, so about 7% away from on the bullish versus the other one. So not quite as far. Let me see, I have this at 50 or 100. Actually, I like the 50-50, guys. Y'all know that. So let's see how the 50-50 looks. I think it's a closer setting as far as accuracy. So we're really close actually to the 15%. So we, I would say at least a retest to here. 1870 would be healthy. 1834 and we hold support would be extremely healthy. If we get that, we're going to explode north. So just stay safe on that. In order for me to be bullish for another huge pump, I would need to see it reclaim the 1935 area with some strength. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, reclaim, find support, and bam, we're going to have an explosion. So that's kind of what to watch for. So let's jump into the automated trading portion of it, guys. We're going to click the alert. We do have ETH, LTC, and Sol was an existing trade. If you remember, We did scale back quite a bit for the holiday just because I did not want to deal with any of it. Because the holidays are just too unexpected. It's not a normal weekend, right? They like to pump and dump. So I was waiting for a move to happen, which did. So that's why I'm going to jump back in. So let's take a look at ETH. I'm almost certain we got out of our long that we were in, so that's awesome because our ETH was DCA'd a little heavier. So we did get out of our long, which is cool. It did take another long. It looks like it closed it a little early right here. Just missed the pump, which is okay. It's too bad that it missed that, but it did wait for a nice pullback, which is cool. Took another long. We're in a slight long, which almost hit profit a few times, so we're good. Remember the long had odd settings. Yeah, see we had a second DCA on there, so I don't want to do this second DCA anymore. So all I have to do is uncheck that. I'm going to leave everything else the same. I'm going to hit OK. Make sure that that doesn't change this because sometimes it will, and you want to be really careful. So it didn't change it. We did not have to make any other modifications. So all I have to do is delete this ETH long. And then I'm going to come over to here, click the three dots on the indicator I want to do. ATA Gambit ETH long. All right, and then ETH is just back in business, guys. It's just going to earn. So we do know our short is now stuck, but if y'all remember, and I did this for a reason, I'm going to hide the long. So this is our entry for our short, 1780, right? So I don't know where it was, but if yeah, here we go. See, we only allowed it to DCA 1. If you guys remember, in this area, I said I could put a DCA 2, but I didn't like it because we were too close to this range. I knew that the holiday weekend was going to pump, so I waited. I did not do that second DCA, and you can see it paid off, right? So now we have just a huge opportunity because if you look at our second DCA, guys, the multiplier, it's 5 versus 3. So we have 3 plus our entry is 4, and this is 5. So we're actually going to move our entry a little more than half. So if I were to even DCA somewhere in here, it would literally move my entry all the way up into this yellow line range, which is what I want, right? Because that retest we had talked about. So obviously I don't want to be aggressive on it because we are earning on our long, so there's really no reason to be aggressive on it. I'm going to try to DCA if we break this retest up into this range. So let's get anywhere up here I'm okay with. So let's just get a DCA line somewhere up there. How do I do that, do you ask? All you do is you're going to choose second DCA. We know that we need this percentage to be a little bit higher, so let's just choose like 9. And it's going to create a white line. We have to find that white line. Look at that perfectly, actually. So what that did is it's going to create like a little white line, if you can see that on my screen right here. What that tells the ATA is that you are clear to do a second DCA anywhere past this. It doesn't have to be on this, right? So if we do come down like this, we have one more explosion up. It could DCA as high as here, right? Which would pull my entry like just way up. So I'm not too concerned. I like this because it's if you look at the price point 1930, that's kind of what we talked about. We may hit again before it rejects. We could pull it down slightly just to be safe, in case it hits it quick and bounces back. So let's try like 8.5. The key when you're pulling it down slightly is you just can't pull it down enough for it to trigger. If it triggers here, then you have to push it back up. Okay, so we did not trigger. So we should be good to go. All right, so now all I have to do is the same thing. I'm just going to go to my ETH short. I'm going to uncheck that, and then I'm going to create the new alert because I'm all done. All right, come on. ATA Gambit ETH short, and we'll create, and then we're done with ETH, guys. Not too bad. Remember, this worked out perfectly. If y'all watch my previous huddles, we were in a long and a short, so it was a win-win. If we pump up, we win. If we go down, we win. What I was excited about is that I wanted to pump up because we had already put that second DCA in, whereas our short was only one DCA, so we were kind of okay with that pump up. So worked out perfectly. So now we're just going to wait. Either we're going to begin to descend down and we'll get out, or it will come up here one more time, hit this DCA, bringing our entry above this yellow line, and then when we do the retest, we'll be out. So really a win-win. It sets us up also nice because, our peak was somewhere up here around 21. So let's say we DCA here and we do continue to climb up. That will set us up for almost a surefire third DCA. So ETH is looking pretty good. So let's take a look at LTC. We obviously know that the long probably got out. I have no idea where LTC is. Yep, there it is. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the long. So it looks like the long did get out back here, actually. The long actually on LTC has killed it. Look at this, 14 days, 162 bucks. This ended up a pretty good get out there. Since then, it's taken one long, it DCA'd one time, took another long, one DCA, another long, and it's in a long right now. So it's absolutely crushing it since it got out. I do not want this second DCA. Y'all know I love to run one. So all I have to do, if I don't change anything here, see how that changed it? This is what I wanted to caution you guys on, right? So I get this all the time is that they'll follow me and then people follow me and then they say, well, it changed everything. What, wait, that doesn't work. So just keep in mind, guys, if it changes it like that, it's because you utilize that second DCA to get it out of the trade. So if you remove that ability, the code isn't always like right in front, right? It continuously runs. Then it's basically never got out, right? So how do you fix that? That's the biggest question I get. All you need to do, guys, is you just need to move your yellow candle or your yellow fractal. And so when you're moving the yellow, all you care about is this trade here. That's all you care about. The rest is just stats, right? This is just showing you what it did. I don't care about the stats necessarily anymore, so because I already know them, I've seen them. I want to know what is it making going forward. As long as you move the yellow in between the previous sell and the current buy, it will still take this buy. So anywhere in this range is fine. So we're going to just, find a date in here. So we'll call Monday the 29th, right, today, and we'll just say 6:50 a.m. So now if you notice when I uncheck this, it's going to change it all, right? But if I put 6:50, right, and then we put it on the 29th, leave this the same. It's still closed trade on chart. You want it to keep going, right? The beauty of these yellow candles is once this yellow one is here, that's why we do this line. It's like a wall. Nothing before it matters because that's all past trades, right? All that you care about is does the existing trade that you're in reflect, right? Now, you don't have to do it just before this one. It could be before any one, but it has to be before the one that got out, right? So let's say it got out back here, right? If I wanted to just put it somewhere in here, I could, and it's still going to take the same trades if you wanted to see your stats. I don't really chase stats because it's going to reflect in my exchange anyways. I don't like to play those games. I just want to let it keep trading, right? And so by doing this now, I have my close candle. There's the wall. We have our buy. It's reflecting the exact entry that it had before. I only have my one DCA and I'm good. So now all I have to do is just go back into my LTC long. I'm going to delete that LTC and we're going to come in here. And I'm just renaming it. That's all I do here. Gambit LTC long. All right. And we're going to create that. So we know, let's revisit LTC again. We know that our long, okay, so we recreated our short and we recreated our long. So our long is good now. We moved this candle, so we're just going to take the trade that it's existing in right now. And then we know that the short, I muted it. There it goes. All right, so let's take a look at the short. So the short, if y'all remember, it was the same situation. I'd left it over the holiday with one DCA because I knew I might need to move it. It played out perfectly because we did. It took the DCA back there, and then look, we're just continuing to climb north. So with LTC, I may not want to be as aggressive, and so let's take a look at the 1 hour. Let's just see what we got here. So you can see we have plenty of room to come up. We have plenty of room to test this previous high up here. So we may want to set the second DCA somewhere in this range because we do have a rejection here, 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 here. It has not been able to break it, right? We did get a very bullish push here though because we did get a pretty noticeable higher low, but that also happened here, right? So it could just be an extension of the descent, right? So I'm going to say with LTC short because of the volume that trades at, I'm going to put it somewhere in here. Let's aim for like 92. Let's see. I want to go a little higher, like 93.5. I'm thinking. Because we have to keep in mind, guys, we could break this and retest all the way up here. And if that happens, we're going to have to go third DCA, which is totally fine, right? But I don't want to go too conservative because then it's kind of handicapping itself, right? So yeah, let's go with like 92.5. I think will work out just fine. Because it's just above that, so either it's going to hit it or it'll just fall. So same thing we did on the last one, guys. You're just going to check that second DCA. We'll leave 14%. Let's see where it puts it. It's not on my chart, so we might be a little high. So let's try 10. We're looking for that white line to appear. There it goes. There's that white line, so you can see right here. So actually, look at that, almost perfect, 93.38. So it's really, really close. So let's put like 0.15, and let's see if that moves that up. I'm pretty specific. I like to get it to around the 92.67. Okay, so let's do 9.1. Doesn't have to be really perfect. I just want it within the range of my TA. We might just go 9, guys. Actually, yeah, 9's perfect. Weird. I thought that was a little low last time, but I guess I was off. So 92.54 at 9%. So this is the setting, if you're following ETH, that I will be doing. So basically, what does that mean? Means we're either going to fall and I'm going to get out and I don't care, or it's going to pump up here, DCA, that'll pull the entry up to right around this range here, which is a good retest area here. So, so I'm good with that. So we're going to let that play out. Let's take the LTT short. ATA Gambit, LTC short. So although we've only messed with 4 pairs, this one took a little bit longer just because we were manipulating some of the existing data, right? So not too bad. So let's take a look at Sol. That was the last one we did. Now, if y'all remember, we did an existing on Sol, which is too bad because I know it pumped, and we talked about originally not doing the existing, actually leaving it, right, and just letting it trade. Had I done that, man, it would have killed it. But that's okay. Look, we got out. The purpose of the existing trade, guys, if you guys look over here, I think it was a little ways back, so maybe I won't go all the way. Yeah, it was a little ways back. But we got stuck in a long for quite some time. I didn't like it, so I wanted to dip out. We did get out and profit here. So, and then, you know, part of the existing trade, guys, the beauty of our technology is when you, yeah, because see, we were already two DCAs in, so I was happy to get out of that. The beauty of ours is if you hit existing trade, guys, it won't trade anymore. Once it takes that sell, it's out, right? It's done. So all we have to do on this, we don't have to modify nothing. I don't want to run it right now. Actually, you know what? Actually, I'm okay with running Sol right now. Let's run the long and short. That way you guys can see. I'm not going to add any more, but let's pull Sol back into the mix because, like I said, I think we're in a pretty good middle range. So all you have to do if you want to run it, guys, super simple. Leave this all the same, long, Sol. If you're going to follow me, I'm doing parabolic SARs. I'm going to keep those the same. I'm going to uncheck these. I only want 1 DCA going forward if I'm refreshing it. And then all I have to do is move this date to right now. So you guys see we set this up extremely easy, guys. So we'll move it to right now. I'm going to uncheck and enable. This one right here is the one that will enable it to close as well as continue trading. So that's what you want. We have our yellow. The yellow is kind of like a start line, right? Anything past is going to be looking for a trade or looking for a sell. So we're back in action. It was that fast. So now all I have to do is create the alert. So I'm going to delete the existing alert. Always refer to this, guys. That's your to-do list. And then we're going to add the alert for Sol, ATA Gambit, Sol long. Okay. And we're going to create, and then I'm actually going to activate the short as well, just to get both ranges. You can see the short would be stuck, so it was a good call not running that short. But we've had enough of a push up to where I think that the indicator will do okay on its own. I'm just running the default, except for I'm only doing 2 DCAs. You should probably do the same. And then all I have to do is change this date to the 29th and 9/4, close trade on chart. We're just looking for our yellow candle. Guys, you can see how fast we set these up. When you're not having to do any kind of like, crazy changes, man, we set this up just so simple, so fast for you to do. So we have our yellow candle. We don't need to delete any alert because we weren't running it. So all we have to do is simply create it. I'm just going to create the alert. This alert is what sends it to our servers to tell it to execute the trade. Gambit, Sol, short. And so we're back at it, guys. I'm not going to run any more than 3 pairs, because I have basically them going both ways. But I'm going to let this one run overnight. We'll see what happens. Everything should just only be 1 DCA, so no matter where we end up tomorrow, we can work our way through it, right? But this will allow us a little more opportunity to make some more money. I may even actually take a look at Matic. Let's look at Matic. Oh, you know what we haven't ran in a while, guys, is Ave. I might look at Ave. Man, this long on Matic would have done really well. Let's look at Ave, guys. We're a little bit over today because I normally keep this one 30 minutes, but I don't mind setting up a few extra pairs today. Ave did so well, and then remember it burned me, and then I was just like, I'm done with Ave. So I haven't played it in a while. But I might play some Ave, actually. Let's see if we want to set up both ways. So when I decide to run both ways, I'm always looking at what's my risk of the pump and what's the risk of the fall. We're okay. We're high enough from here that even if it ran against me, I could work my way out. But we're low enough, we're low enough here that if it pumps, here, that I could work my way out too. So guys, let's just I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk. If you guys want to do this, you can do it. If you don't. But I'm gonna run Ave as well. So I'll try to go through this quickly, guys. All we do with this, because we haven't run this in a while, you're just gonna double check the settings. We want 1 DCA. I'm doing Ave, parabolic SARS, long, BitGet. I'm not gonna do the stop loss because I'm gonna play them both ways. So we haven't ran it since the 8th. So let's put it on the time here. So 9:06. If you're doing the time, always make sure you have your UTC match this. This doesn't necessarily have to match your time zone. It just has to match your chart, which should match your time zone, if that makes sense. Some people get confused on that. And that's all I had to do, guys. Now I'm just going to go into the long. We have our yellow. I'm setting these up quickly because 1, we're out of time, and 2, I want to show you guys how quickly it can be set up. Ave long. We're going to go a little bit aggressive into tomorrow, so we'll see how this plays out. As long as I only got that 1 DCA, guys, I got plenty of room to play that TA. So we're going to check out the short. We're going to do the same thing. Just double check. Short, Ave, BitGet, parabolic SARS. I'm running default take profit because I'm scalping it on the 1 minute. That's what I run it on. We're going to use 1 DCA, no stop losses on that because I'm also I'm hedging it. Guys, I use BitGet because if you guys are confused and you know how to trade, why I'm doing long and short is BitGet is one of the few exchanges that actually allows you to do long and short on the same pair at the same time. So that is why BitGet is so powerful for what we use on our automated trading. So I'm setting it up. You guys see how quickly. Make sure it's closed trade on chart because that's the one that's going to continue. Wait for our yellow candle. Ba-bam, there it is. We're going to save that. All I have to do now is create the alert because we are ready to go. Once you get that yellow candle and all your settings are confirmed correct, then you are ready to rock and roll. So you guys can see how quickly I set that up. So we're a little bit overextended, but I'm okay with that for a day. We'll assess it tomorrow. We had a nice move north, which means we could have a pullback. That'll mean our shorts will do really well, but we also could have another leg up, which would mean our longs are going to do really well. So we're setting up in a good position. We are running 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs both directions. So a little overextended from the default, but we're only running 1 DCA, so that's okay. So we'll check and see how that does tomorrow, guys. Again, I'm like 9 minutes over. I apologize for you guys in the community. I like to keep these about 30 minutes, but we had a lot of changes. I hope that you guys are following along and you've learned something. We made some good money for those guys that are following along. I know, we have a couple guys that run in Goliath. They're averaging about, $6,000 a month running that on a $20,000 account. So, which is awesome. So, appreciate you guys' time. I know it's a holiday. If you guys aren't watching this live, I sure hope that you guys do watch the recording later. TikTok, hold on a second. I will look at your comments once I'm done here. So appreciate you guys' time. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Please be safe out there. There's gonna be a lot of DUI checkpoints, I'm sure. A lot of accidents, a lot of crazy parties. Just be smart, guys. Have a designated driver. Be safe out there. We want to make sure you guys get home safely for tomorrow. So, um,